Hey, how's it going, guys? Thank you for joining me on this week's episode of The Real Deal. So this week I had a great episode planned talking about certain things that disqualify you from renting, that don't disqualify you from buying. However, I couldn't avoid this topic that is just everywhere right now, and we'll move that one to next week. So let's talk about these interest rates. If you look at any news article right now, they're talking about how low the interest rates are right now. And as far as the specifics as to why that is and how whatever's happening in China and the coronavirus and all that, how that's affecting it, I wouldn't be able to begin to tell you. I can give you a general idea that the stock market is putting their money more in the mortgage side, real estate side, and somehow that affects the real estate industry's interest rates. And not only just real estate, also, cars and all types of interest rates. So this is obviously a great thing as far as if you're a homeowner and you're currently in the process of refinancing, or if you're wanting to refinance, or if you're a potential home buyer and you're in the process of potentially buying a house. I'm going to give you guys an idea of what this is doing on your affordability and the difference that this lower interest rate is giving you when it comes to what you qualify for, and the difference that would have when it came to like a purchase price from 2 years ago or a year ago to now. These interest rates aren't going to be here forever. They're going to be here for a couple months. So definitely try to take advantage of them the best way you can. But like literally, you can look anywhere right now and you can talk about, news article after news article after news article and news article everywhere. They're everywhere. So, you just can't get away from it. They're just every, news article you're looking at online, and, obviously on the TV, they're talking about these low interest rates. I have clients right now that when they were pre-qualified and under contract 3 weeks ago or 2 weeks ago, their interest rates have dropped like 0.5%, 0.75%, which is a big deal because some payments went down $100, and that's obviously a nice thing to happen. Now, this is rare; it doesn't happen too often. Take advantage of it while you can. So let me go ahead and show you what this impact has on your monthly payment, because that's where I am an expert in. I'm not an expert on all the other crap, the stock market and all that, but I am an expert on what an interest rate does to your affordability and what it does to the kind of house that you can qualify for. So let me show you guys this payment calculator. Now, in the state of Arizona, the average price point right now for a house, and this is taking the average of all houses in the state of Arizona, it's about $280,000, $290,000. So, the same houses from 2 years ago that were like $260 are now pushing that $300,000 mark. So right here, I have an example of what interest rates were about 2 years ago. For conventional financing, somebody with modest credit, like high 600s, decent credit, but obviously not phenomenal, like 800 credit score, right? This is what the rate was 2 years ago on a $300,000 house. That same price point right now with the interest rates, just to kind of give you an idea of what a difference makes on the current rates that are going on right now. That's $300 a month, So a house from 2 years ago that somebody might have been looking at that was $260,000, and that is a pretty accurate assessment. Like a $260,000 house from 2 years ago is worth about $300,000. That same $260,000 house was costing you about $1,700 a month, right? So a lot of people are hung up on, I should have bought 2 years ago and this and that. At the end of the day, you didn't buy for whatever reason, or you didn't sell for whatever reason, or didn't refinance for whatever reason. If you can right now and you're in a position that you can, take advantage of it. So that same $260,000 house is now worth $300,000, which is great if you bought and you got some cool equity. But if you're now in the process of buying a house, this is obviously going to give you more affordability, because now a $300,000 house with the low interest rates, you end up paying less than you would have 2 years ago. So yeah, it sucks, for you if you haven't purchased a house before and you want to buy a house and these prices are up there and you're like getting sticker shocked. At the end of the day, the interest rates are so low right now that even a $40,000 difference in purchase price, you're still paying less right now than you would have 2 years ago. Let's take it to an extreme. Let's see how high we can go before it gets to 1,700 like that other one. I kind of already cheated. I kind of know. 320,000. So kind of think about that. A $260,000 house 2 years ago, right now, or interest rates at that time were about 5.25. Right now, you can get a 3.25. I mean, you can even get lower. You can get a 3% interest rate. You can even get a 2.75% interest rate, depending on how good your credit is, and depending if you're going FHA versus conventional. But the 3.25 I can speak on right now because that is an interest rate that I was able to get a client just from, I think they're at 4.375 last 2 weeks ago, and now they're down to a 3.25. So what does that do to current clients or people that have considered purchasing a house and maybe they looked like a year ago, because interest rates were still pretty high a year ago? Let's say you're looking at something at, let's say your max pre-qualification amount originally was $1,700 a month, right? Let's say you were only pre-qualified for $1,700 a month, and that dropped your affordability down to around a 280. I mean, so you're increasing your purchase, power by about 20 to 40 grand just by having a lower interest rate. And that's a big deal because, a lot of clients right now that are starting off and they're first getting pre-qualified, they're kind of sitting around like that 250, 240 range. And that is a competitive price point to be in right now. But if your interest rate drops, now you instantly increase your qualification potential like 20 grand, 40 grand. So it really is a big deal. I can't emphasize that enough on what these interest rates do to your affordability when it comes to monthly payments and when it comes to, what a house was worth 2 years ago versus now. Forget about that. Houses have gone up. Yeah, 2 years ago, they were about $40,000 cheaper. But if you compare the interest rates, I guarantee you that house is the same monthly payment. So stop beating yourself up over not buying 2 years ago. And if you did buy 2 years ago and you got into a house that you were like, this isn't my forever home, I'm kind of like, just your starter home, then great. Now you have some equity. You have about 40 to 50 grand to put on a new house. Now you don't have to use down payment assistance. Now you have your own money. Obviously, your credit has probably improved since then because you've been having a mortgage. And now you can get these rock bottom rates. Now you can get a $320,000 house for the same price like a $260,000 house was. So just take that all in, consider that, run with it. If you know anybody that owns a home, have them talk to their current lenders that they're with to ask them to refinance them into the lowest rates possible. And then, of course, if you're in the process of buying and selling or selling and buying, this is a good time. You're going to maximize your profits and you're going to be able to get a sweet deal on interest rates. I've seen some crazy low interest rates at 2.75%. I've seen some conventional loan rates as low as 3%, which is pretty low for conventional financing, 2.99 actually to be exact. And if you're a first-time home buyer and you've been considering and you don't have your down payment, right now with down payment assistance, getting your entire down payment covered, you can get a 4% interest rate, which is insane. I mean, interest rates haven't been this low since the big financial dip in 2008. So just kind of consider that this is a good deal. If you've been thinking about buying or selling, do it before the rates start climbing the next couple months because this is temporary. It's not going to last forever. They never do. Usually it's like a 3-month, 4-month, quarter thing, right? Anyways, guys, if you know anybody, share this message. And of course, if you're looking to buy or sell, please reach out to me and I will take care of you and set you up with some great interest rates through my lenders. Take care and have a good one.